Hey guys, I am back with a travel talk video, and again I'm going to be doing several of these probably throughout the rest of November and December. November's almost over, so this will probably be the last video. Let me think my video schedule. I think this will actually go up in December. So anyway, enough about November, but throughout a lot of December and some of January, I'm probably going to do more travel talk videos. I feel like they are helpful, and they actually help me out as well, going through in my mind and thinking about certain things. So this particular video, I'm going to be talking about packing. Now, this is not going to be your traditional pack with me video or look what I've taken in my carry-on or suitcase or whatever. I'm not doing any of that, but it's just going to be some tips and tricks that that might help you with some packing. Take one or two of them. You may think, oh, those are all good, I like them all. Just as a disclaimer, I do tend to overpack. And I think it stems from me being a worrier, that I worry that I'm going to get somewhere and I'm not going to have like X, Y, and Z that I need, regardless of the fact that I could probably go buy it again. But anyway, that is something that I am working on personally, is trying not to overpack. Anyway, I do have some notes, so let's go ahead and get started. So, what should you pack? Well, first of all, that really depends on where you're going and what type of trip you're taking. So think about it this way. If you're going to, say, a very sunny climate, you're not going to want to take a big coat. Now, I realize that if you're leaving from a colder climate and you're going to a sunnier climate, that kind of messes you up a little bit, and you got to get to the airport and stuff like that, and you might take a coat with you to the airport, but in general, really look at where you're going. And what I would do leading up to your trip, start checking the weather in the places where you're going, because you might end up needing an umbrella. I think it's always good to pack a travel umbrella anyway, but just look at where you're going and what type of trip are you taking. If this is a camping trip, you obviously need to take that type of stuff, camping equipment. If it is you're going to go lay on the beach somewhere in the Caribbean, like say Aruba, take that type of stuff. If you're going to Iceland, you're going to need to take your warm weather stuff. So there's so many different types of things. You guys know where you're planning on going or where you are going, like very soon. But just keep that in mind. Don't take stuff with you that really isn't for the type of trip you're going on or for the climate that you're going on. Just be aware of that, and then be aware though of also weather changes. So my next tip is, if you can, especially if you're going to be flying, pack lightweight items, and that keeps the weight down and will keep you from hopefully from having to pay extra like overweight fees. And so pack lightweight items. Also, you've got to keep in mind, depending on the trip where you're going, you might also have to lug this luggage a lot. And so, you know, it's going to be easier on you if it's lightweight. And so think about certain articles of clothing that are more heavier than others, and certain articles that are lighter than others. Again, that can go back to where you're going, but just think about this. Cottons are going to weigh less than wool items, for an example. So in general, I know that I think denim is made out of cotton, so arguments could be made what's heavier, but that's really not my plan right there. Oh, sorry. If you're hearing something on the floor, I've got some other things to show you. But just, if you can, pack the lightest weight items that you can. My next tip is the stuff in the floor that you're hearing. Let me put that down. Is to use packing cubes. I bought these several months ago in anticipation that I was going on my trip, and I got them from the Container Store. And these were all on sale, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and buy some. I've never used them before, but I heard they're absolutely wonderful. These are by Eagle Creek. I do believe other brands make them. So here's like a little thing. It's got a handle on it, and you can put several things in it, and then they even will tell you as a suggestion what you can put in this cube. And then, okay, Coco's going to want to play with the bag now. I had to get that bag away from Coco. She is obsessed with it. But this particular one is very interesting. Look how thin that is. This claims that it will hold up to 7 shirts, folded shirts, this thing. And so it just opens like this. And then it's got another thing right here. And then it's got this little partition in it that helps you fold the shirts, as you can see right there. So I thought this was a great idea, and I'm going to give it a try, and at some point I'm going to tell you how I got on with these packing cubes. But they are definitely something that will help compress what you're going to take with you and make smaller spaces, because that's also a big issue as well, is space. And other things that you might think, let's say you take some socks with you. You can store stuff down in the socks as well that might be a little bit more fragile, like perfume bottles. It's also great if you're like me and you've been to Italy before and you wanted to come home with some olive oil, but they're glass bottles. You know you can't put those in your carry-on, so you've got to pack them in your suitcase, but you don't want them to break. So I would put socks on the bottles. That's just one idea. I also have taken bubble wrap with me in the past. Yes, I have, and I cut it into pieces and I took some tape. I know it's ridiculous to think about it, but if you know you're going to buy something that's potentially fragile, that's not going to be wrapped up, you're going to need to find ways to protect it as you are repacking. So think about packing cubes and making more space in your bag. The next thing I want to talk about is packing an extra suitcase. Can you guys see Coco right there? She's been a mess this morning. Think about taking an extra suitcase and putting it inside of your suitcase. I have done that many times because I know I love to shop. Now, if you're not a shopper, this is not going to be for you, but what I'll do is I'll have another, like a duffel bag or another smaller suitcase that is soft and collapsible, and I will pack that in my big suitcase on the way to my trip. Yes, it adds more weight, but she's going after the bag again. I am sorry, guys. This is just a comedy routine almost with these puppies. Chanel is in my lap, if you just wanted to quickly see her right there. Think about taking an extra suitcase. It is great if you want to bring back a lot of souvenirs, if you do a lot of shopping. And what I have typically done, since the suitcase is collapsible, it's a lighter material, it's more fabric instead of the hard cases. A lot of times I'll just put my dirty clothes in that one, and then the more valuables or breakables in the harder suitcase. So that is just one idea. Now, you may end up having to pay extra for that suitcase on the way back, but you won't have to pay extra on the way there because it's hidden inside your other case. That's just a thought. Now, think about the types. I already mentioned about some of the types of clothing, but think about, I need to get that bag away from her. Hold on. I'm back. She was half in, half out of the bag. Sorry about that. I feel like this plan for this video in my mind was going really well, and then when you got too many dachshunds who I said sort of like I said too many, M-A-N-Y, but too many dachshunds who love to get into things, it kind of makes the video sometime a little bit more comical. Okay, so I would say unless you are like a fashion blogger or YouTuber, or just, I love fashion, don't get me wrong, but I think about stuff that I need to bring when I travel, and a lot of times I don't want to bring my more expensive items. There's potential of lost luggage, potential of damage, potential of theft, and so a lot of times I will not bring my nicest clothes with me. I don't want to look, awful or anything like that, but look at potentially bringing some older clothes with you that you might even been ready to donate, as long as they still fit you. The reason being, here's one idea. Some people are going to like this idea, some people are going to hate it, but potentially if it's older and you're ready to donate it, you could actually leave it behind at your hotel, or if you're taking a cruise, just leave it behind or throw it away, and you can save that weight in your luggage as well. Some people will be definitely not like that. Some people are like, oh, I hadn't thought about that. That's a good idea. But what I will tell you, whatever my more expensive pieces are, I put those in my carry-on and try to save those, and that's on the way up there and on the way back, just because I do not want anything to happen to them. But I know a lot of fashion bloggers and YouTubers will pack incredibly expensive stuff because that is part of their job, and they're taking photos and doing blog posts in these lovely places. But I get that they're going to take those, but I have heard of horror stories about stuff being stolen, and I don't know about you guys, but I just can't afford to replace everything if the expensive stuff if it were to get stolen or lost. Okay, Coco thinks she's being punished now because I took the bag away from her, and she's whining. Let me see. Okay, I already mentioned that I'm an overpacker, so I said try not to overpack is one of my tips. Okay, I got decide what, this is a quote, and I've got this right here. I've been holding these right here, and there was a quote on this. It says, bring half of what you think you need and twice as much money. And that is the absolute truth about packing. And this is a great little booklet of things. I picked these up at World Market actually a year ago, and it's got stuff that you can check off. Not everything is going to fit your needs. I mean, there was some stuff in here that I was going, why is this even on here? I was trying to figure out what it was that was on here that I was going, you've got to be kidding me. Why is that on here? Like a travel iron. That's not too bad, but I'm like, no, I'm not bothering with that. Let's see. Just a whole bunch of stuff. You know, now that I'm trying to find it, I can't find it. But anyway, this is it's a great little tool to use for checking off your packing stuff. So again, really try to think about the absolute necessities that you're going to need. One thing you might think of is, like, let's say you love perfumes. This is just an example. Don't take several bottles with you. You might want to go with roller balls in that case, or just a smaller perfume, or just take one with you. So you don't need as much stuff, and just be really aware of what you're putting there. And if it's stuff that you don't use every day, you're thinking, well, I might use this, or I might wear this, and you haven't worn that outfit in years, and you still have it, and you're going, well, I'm going to wear this on my trip. I'm like, are you really? Because you've never worn it yet. So this is stuff I have to tell myself. And another thing that about the clothing, you need to rewear your clothing. Most of the time, you're never going to see any of those people again. And if you're going to different cities, you're going to brand new places every day, so nobody's seeing that stuff. But I would say try to pack, if you're going, whatever that you wear on the bottom half, whether it be skirts, pants, shorts, whatever, rewear those. Now, I am really funny about rewearing t-shirts. Like, I don't mind, like, saying this outer shirt, I'll wear that several times over and over, but like a t-shirt like this, I am like very picky about not rewearing those. It's just a little weird little thing. And so I would say pack more t-shirts, but then maybe fewer actually tops that go over them. Maybe think about a lightweight jacket, and but rewear your clothes over and over again. At least try, if you can take, depending on the length of your trip, but I'm thinking if you take 5 outfits, you could probably rewear them 3 times each and then mix and match. So that's less stuff that you're going to be taking as well. So just really give that a lot of thought and think about how often can I rewear the pieces that I've got on, and what can I mix and match. So one thought that I had for myself was look for items to bring with me, clothing items that are more in solids. That way they are easier to mix and match, and I don't have to worry about having, let's say, one skirt or one top that only looks good with just the one other skirt or top, if that makes any sense, because it's not really going to help me out a lot on weight on this luggage and room in my suitcase if I can only wear something once. But again, I will be taking a bunch of t-shirts because that is just something I don't compromise on. Let's see what else. Oh, I thought about something else. You might want to take photos, get all your outfits out that you're thinking about, and take photos of each outfit and then mix them up, retake photos, so you'll have an idea of how many particular outfits you can have with the limited number of articles of clothing you're going to take with you. So the next thing on my list is your carry-on. I absolutely am a huge fan of taking a carry-on. There are so many things that you need to put in that you don't want to go in your regular suitcase. Electronics is one of those. Now you're going to have to read up on wherever you're flying out from. If you're flying out from the United States, go to the TSA's website. Find out what is allowable, specifically because rules are ever changing, and I know there's things about electronics that are ever changing. So go read up on their rules first, but if you at all possible, put your electronics in your carry-on, because if you put them in your luggage, they could break, or people will steal them because they go through your luggage. I know it happens. Put that in your carry-on. Put any medications in there. Your Ziploc bag of your liquids, you're going to want to put those in there. And let's see, any more expensive items that you're thinking about taking, I would put those in the carry-on, whether it be jewelry, whatever. Try to put all that in your carry-on. And I also am a big advocate of packing a few outfits in your carry-on just in case of lost luggage. So I would say at the minimum, take 2 outfits. At the max, however many you can squeeze in there. That is up to you. I know it's probably ridiculous and redundant to do that, but luggage does get lost. Knock on wood, I have never had my luggage being lost. It was delayed one time when I came home, but that didn't matter because I was already home, and then it got brought to me the next day. But I will probably, me personally, look at taking a minimum of 4 outfits in my carry-on, just so I don't have to worry. I have the peace of mind that if something were to happen to the other piece of luggage, I will have some outfits, and it just gives me peace of mind to do that. And I would say pack your most versatile outfits, that if you brought 4 pieces, like say 4 tops, 4 bottoms, that you can mix and match those and make 8 outfits out of them if at all possible. So that way you'll be good to go. And let's see. Different sources of money need to come with you, and I do typically put those in different places when I get to my destination. I'll wait till I get to my hotel room, or on the cruise ship, depending on where I'm going, how I end up getting there. But what I will do is typically I will pack my money like in my handbag going there, and that stays with me. I protect that thing. I guard it with my life. But when I get to my hotel or place, I will split that money up. I won't put it all in my handbag. And I do feel that you need to take different sources of currency, cash, and whatever currencies you have to get it in, whether it's a euro, a British pound, whatever other money, US dollars. I don't even keep all of that in one place. I will split that up, and I will maybe put a debit card or a credit card, whatever, in different locations as well. And I definitely advocate using a money belt. Just be careful though, when you have to get money out of it, you don't want really anybody to see you if at all possible. And I also like keeping my passport in my money belt. I'm going to do another video on travel safety and talk more about that then, but split your money up when you get to your destination, but do it in privacy. And if one piece gets stolen or you get pickpocketed, you will still have currency somewhere else. It is just safety to do. It's just safe to do it that way. This is the last thing I'm going to talk about with packing is this. Some people think this is absolutely ridiculous. I thought it was brilliant, and I do this almost every trip I go on. I think I have done it on every trip that I can remember going on, and then more distant past. But that is taking snacks and sodas or waters. And one of the reasons I do this is because it gets really expensive, and it's just a whole lot cheaper if you go to the grocery store, buy them on sale, pack a few. So what I will do is, obviously you can't bring sodas or waters in your carry-on. I will put those in my luggage, and I will use big Ziploc bags, those really ginormous bags. Those are great. That's another tip, is get Ziploc bags. You want like the quart size, the gallon size, and then those ginormous ones. And the ginormous ones I use to put my clothing in, and then I also use them for like a laundry bag, a dirty clothes bag. And then with the drinks, I will put them in the bag as well to protect the rest of my stuff in case one of them opens up. I don't bring cans, it's only bottles. And so those will are a great idea. And then like a couple packs of crackers, I'll put those in my carry-on or a handbag. That way, if you're sitting at the airport for hours, you can have snacks there, and you still have to buy a drink, but you'll have a few snacks at the airport. Or if you go to a location and you're a picky eater and you're going, I just don't know what I'm going to do, then you'll have a few snacks to tide you over, and you don't have to buy any extras. So I feel like this video has covered a lot of different topics and things. If you have any tips, please leave them below. I would love to hear from you, and stay tuned for more travel videos. Bye bye, guys.